Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my other videos. Today's video is going to be in tribute and remembrance of my grandpa who passed away on this day last year. Think about the people you love. All the people that mean the most to you. Okay? Now think about losing them. On September 19th, 2017, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I got woken up to call the ambulance for my grandpa. He had a sharp pain in his lower stomach and was throwing up blood. He had to be taken to the hospital. That morning, around 10 o'clock, I texted my mom asking if everything was okay, and I didn't get a response. At 3:30 in the afternoon, I get called to the office saying that I'm going home. I see my aunt and my uncle and Alyssa and Alan. As soon as we walk out the door, my uncle looks me in the eyes and I knew something was wrong. My uncle's crying, and he never cries. He tells me, "Mackenzie, today, Grandpa had to go into an emergency surgery, and we lost him." My heart sank to my stomach and I just cried. I cried, screaming no. I couldn't believe what just had happened. I couldn't believe what he just told me. A 2-minute drive from my school to my house felt like an hour. As soon as I walk in, everyone just starts crying. It hurt me to see all the people that I love cry. I couldn't do anything about it. The next day at school, as soon as one of my friends came up to me and hugged me, I just started to cry. I didn't want to be at school, but I knew I had to. In second period, I kind of just sat there thinking about it, overthinking. Then on my way to third, one of my friends asks me how my grandpa was doing, but she didn't know that he was gone. I just started to cry, and I told her that he didn't make it. She knew how much my grandpa meant to me, and it hurt her as well. During third, I called to go home because I just couldn't be there. The rest of the day, we looked through pictures of my grandpa to see which one to put in a slideshow for his funeral, and I just couldn't believe this was happening. I know that everyone's gonna die eventually, and I know it's the circle of life, but I never thought I would have to experience my grandpa passing away when I was just 15. Then, at his funeral, we talked about the good times, the bad times, the funny times, everything. A part of me was sad because I was losing a piece of me, but another part of me wasn't as sad because I know my grandpa was in a better place. Taking him away from me made me realize that God only did it for the best, and nothing but the best. Not a day goes by that I don't miss my grandpa. Not a day goes by that I don't think about my grandpa. No matter how many days, weeks, months that go by, I'll always remember how great of a human he was. He was a brother, an uncle, a dad, a cousin, a grandpa. He was everything. A lot of people knew he was such a good man. He was hardworking. He was always working outside from such a young age to his last days. If he wasn't outside working, he was inside eating. He'd go to the kitchen, put on the Western Channel, and he would just be eating a piece of bread with mustard on it, or a hot dog, just the hot dog by itself. He was always eating. If he wasn't eating or working outside, he was sleeping. He would always sleep on the recliner, and as soon as he'd sit down, take off his shoes, he'd pass out. And I know, at least now, he gets to sleep all he wants in heaven, and he doesn't have to stress about the yard work. My grandpa also did a lot for other people. My neighbor, he would cut the grass for them. He also took care of my pets after I begged him to get me them. He was just a really good man overall. I remember I begged him to get a dog, and he told me, well, you have to take care of her. Yeah, I did for a while, but then after that, he just started taking care of her. And losing my grandpa made me realize how much he actually did. He was the glue that kept my house together. He was the foundation. He made sure that everything me and my grandma needed, we got. Everything that the house needed, it got. Like, he was just always providing, and I feel like I regret not giving back. Like, now that he's gone, I see that you shouldn't take a loved one for granted. They're not going to be here forever, especially if they're older. You should just enjoy the times that you have with them. And if I could go back, I definitely would. I would spend every second with him if I knew that he was going to pass away when he did. Now I treat my grandma so much better. I spend more time with her. I try not to go out as much because they're not going to be here forever. And I wish I could have just spent more time with him. And like, it just sucks that I can't go back in time. But at the end of the day, I know I loved him and he loved me. And I leave you with this. If you guys have loved ones that are older, take every single moment you can to spend time with them. Appreciate them more, because life works in weird ways. God works in weird ways. One day they'll be here, the next day they won't, and life doesn't come with a warning sign. You know, you can never predict the future, but you can live in the present and take every single moment and live it to their best. You don't know when someone's gonna leave, but you do know how you spend your time with them. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe down below. This was a really hard video for me to film, and I just wanted to do it in honor of my grandpa.